Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Have you ever heard of Japan's hell valleys? No? But I guess you've probably heard of Hakone, a very popular tourist destination, just a stone throws away from Tokyo. Many of you may have already been there and enjoyed the medicinal properties of the hot springs, the calm boat rides on the lake, the spectacular view of Mount Fuji, and, of course, the black eggs that we are told can add 7 years to our life. And one of the most visited spots in Hakone is Owakudani, meaning Great Boiling Valley. But Owakudani was originally called Hell Valley or Grand Inferno by the locals for centuries until the Emperor Meiji's reign in Japan. When and how was its name changed? Today, I'll take you there and tell you a little story about it. Our journey begins during the pandemic in 2020. The volcanic activities in the region had become so severe that several trails were actually closed. As I was riding over the Hell Valley in an empty cable car, I saw this beast in action. Volcanic eruptions furiously spewing white fumes into the air, the burned trees, the reddish-brown barren terrain dotted by greenish-yellow streaks below, and the rotten egg smell creeping into my nose. All of this gave me the sensation that I was approaching Dante's Inferno. I could even feel the cable car tremble slightly above the fumes. The stench in the air was so pervasive that I had to cover my nose and mouth with a wet tissue during the ride. And even with this wet tissue, I could still smell the pungent smoke enveloping the cable car. Oh my goodness, that was a hell of a ride for me. What a contrast to the relaxing, picturesque atmosphere generally associated with this tourist resort. Whenever this sleeping beauty wakes up from her naps every now and then, her beastly force can scare the hell out of even the most adventurous tourists. Many people tend to forget that the seemingly peaceful Hakone is actually an active volcano. The Owakudani, or Great Boiling Valley, was formed by a major eruption of the Hakone volcano some 3,000 years ago. Locals refer to the region as Hell Valley up until 150 years ago in 1873. But this was not the only place in Japan known by this name. In fact, there are quite a few active volcano spots called Hell Valley scattered throughout the country. The difference is that most of them still keep their original name, a very descriptive term for a lifeless terrain that reminds us of hell. In the case of Owakudani, though, its status received a life-changing boost with the Meiji Emperor's visit in 1873. As preparations were made for the imperial visit, the name Hell Valley was changed to Owakudani, or Great Boiling Valley, a more appropriate name for a place that would be hosting the imperial family. After all, just imagine this casual conversation between two Japanese strolling down the street. Have you heard that the emperor is going to Hell Valley for the weekend with his family? Wouldn't that conversation sound rather awkward? Placing the words emperor and hell in the same sentence might actually sound more like a curse. The Meiji Emperor was still a teenager and had only been coronated a few years earlier, but the imperial court understood how to project an aura of nobility to the masses. And that's why the region shed its intimidating name of Hell Valley to the more pleasant-sounding Owakudani, or Great Boiling Valley. The name change from Hell Valley to Owakudani was no isolated act. It was a tiny drop of change amidst the vast waves of transformations engulfing Japan. Most notably, when the city of Edo was chosen as the new capital in 1868, its name was changed to Tokyo, meaning the East Capital. In no time, the emperor moved his palace from Kyoto, the West Capital, to Tokyo, the East Capital, in a meticulously planned process that spanned 3 years. The entire nation was undergoing drastic transformations, bidding farewell to the old age of the samurai and forging a new modern constitutional state, an endeavor that would catapult Japan onto the world stage. Against this backdrop, the branding of Hakone's most popular spot from Hell Valley to Owakudani could be closely associated with Japan's modernization drive under the Meiji emperor's reign. Owakudani might have been a brilliant name choice during the Meiji era. The kanji waku, a verb meaning to gush out, could infer both literally the sulfuric fumes gushing out and figuratively the outpour of good fortune and prosperity. It very well changes the curse word hell into a blessing while at the same time still conveying the volcanic features of this place. On the other hand, however, observing the beast in action from a cable car keeps you wondering, isn't the name Hell Valley more appropriate? Undoubtedly, it paints a more vivid picture of the active volcano's century-long imprint on the region's landscape. By contrast, Owakudani, or Great Boiling Valley, has mellowed out much of its natural flavor and vibe. Much like the US has a Death Valley that attracts millions of curious visitors per year, why can't the outskirts of Tokyo keep their original name, Hell Valley? What do you think? Which one of the two names do you prefer? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for your company and for hanging out with us until the end. We're now pulling out of Hakone Station to head off to our next destination. Feel free to leave any comments below. Click a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Till next time.